Okay, day, what are we on? 212, Saturday, and today is going to be a run errands and put out fires kind of day. Yesterday was pretty much the same thing, had a bunch of computer stuff I had to do. I got a new client for a new website, so I'm going to try to knock that out this weekend since I'm still waiting on batch 3 of the cigar photos. I emailed them and said, hey, what's up with that? Need my stuff, man. Supposed to have that a few days ago. I was supposed to be shooting all of batch 3 over this weekend, but I need to get through the project because my whole studio's in disarray until it's all done. So I want to get that over with. But anyway, yesterday, another one of my clients who I'd done a website for, and when I give them the website and deliver it and everything, I give them a default password, and I say, change it, change your password, change your password, change your password, and they didn't. And it's been, I don't know, about 9 months or so, and somebody hacked it. Somebody basically guessed the password. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's, a really clear one that they should change it. Anyway, they obliterated the website, and they didn't listen to me either and didn't have any backups, even though every month I tell everybody, do your backups, do your backups, do your backups. Nothing. So it was, a little hectic of figure out what the heck happened, because it wasn't really clear. Kind of thought they got hacked, kind of thought something was up with the server, because it looked like the SQL database was down, and I was half right. They got hacked, and the hacked website's SQL database was down. So it's a process of rebuilding for that, but that's kind of their job. I just fixed everything, cleaned everything that I could, quarantined everything else, put up a basic site, pulled off a database dump so they got at least the text of all their blog posts and everything, pulled down their images for them, gave them all the raw data, said, here you go, rebuild. So that was my afternoon yesterday. But today it's just build for the first time a new website for a local DJ, another wedding vendor. So that'll be kind of cool, and his data is just about done rolling in, so I got a bunch of stuff to work from. And I'm going to go back and find a humidifier. I don't know what happened, but as soon as I put up that video last night, I remembered my experience with Target last time, and I really don't want to give them any more business, so I started looking around. And I can't find anything. I can't find anything in stores. I found plenty of places that sell ultrasonics online. Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, they all have a range of stuff. Some extremely expensive. Bed Bath & Beyond starts at like $150. It's way more than I need. I'm just looking for a little room guy for around $40. So I don't know if Target's also using adaptive browser pricing, which does happen. If you're not familiar with that, that is where some sites are aware of what browser and what operating system you're viewing their site on, and they will change their prices accordingly. It happens very frequently for travel sites. For example, if you go to like Expedia or Priceline, if you're using a Mac and you're viewing the site on Safari, you get higher prices than if you're viewing on a PC with Internet Explorer, because they assume because you have a Mac, you have more money. So they show you higher prices. But I was, browsing before I went to Target, and I saw the two models, the same one I have and the one for the homes that I mentioned in yesterday's video, and they were both $39.99. I said, okay. Stupid me didn't check to make sure they were in stores. They don't, of course, carry them around here in stores. It's online only. Even though it says in stores, what they mean is, there's one 45 minutes away in Tampa. So I was going to go get that when I got my next batch of cigars, because it showed a couple stores in Tampa had it in stock, the same one I have. All right, no big deal. So then at the store, I was browsing on my phone, Apple, Safari, and, trying to see what's available. And the homes wouldn't even show up. Like, all right, that's weird. So this morning, I'm back home again. Same computer I was viewing the first time on, so they still have my cookies. And the VIX model I have is now $55 and not available. And the Holmes is $39.99, but out of stock everywhere, even in Tampa. So I don't know what to say. something's screwed up. Something's going on with that. Wouldn't shock me at all if they're using the adaptive pricing. But I did see when I was at Target physically, I saw one ultrasonic they had, the only model they stocked at all in the store there that was normal. They had a couple small ones for kids that are like animals, like one's an elephant, and the steam or the mist comes out of its trunk, stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't want to use it, but I would if it was big enough. But they're little. Anyway, they had one normal size one for $55. So it looks like the only option, literally, in this whole area where I can get one for a reasonable price in a store. I don't want to wait, because if I wait a week, the humidity is going to be down, and then I got to boil the water again. That's just a pain in the ass. So fine, I'll eat the $15. I'll go back to Target, even though I don't want to spend money with them, and get the one for $55. I don't have a choice. It's just ridiculous. Walmart doesn't carry any ultrasonics, even the kids' ones, anymore. I don't know what's up with that. That's where I got this one last time. It was only a few years ago, but I don't know. And I got to find a tube for my bike. I need to fix that flat. There are tubes in it. I couldn't remember if, usually they have tubes, but there was something weird about this. What I was thinking of is it's an oversize. And that's why I couldn't find a tube when I was looking for it. When I got the bike, if you saw those videos, I went and got a lot of the extra equipment I need, and I got a patch kit. I got the tire levers and the pump and yada, yada, yada. But normal stores don't carry tubes for these large size wheels. So I found a bike shop in Newport Richey, about 10 minutes away, and I'm going to head over there right now and find myself a new tube, and then I'll show you guys how to change a tube or a tire if you're needing to do that. And that's really easy. And I'll take you through that, and then I'm going to swing on by to Target on the way home and hopefully get that humidifier so I can get the house or the studio back up and going. And I definitely want to get in a ride, because it's been several days since I've been able to do that. I'm way out of my routine. I mean, it's been like, what are we on, 2.5 weeks now for the bathroom project? That's been obliterating my schedule. So yeah, gonna be one of those days. And I got to figure out a new recipe. I need to do something. I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay, got the new humidifier. Went to Target first. Kind of went down this road out of habit. Now over to the bike shop. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention that the reason I'm kind of running around doing all this stuff today is because the bathroom guy called and he needed a day off, so he went fishing. Alright, strike one on my local guy. He's got the 29-inch tubes, but not with Schrader valves, not with Presta valves, just Schrader. So he pointed me to another shop a little farther away, and we'll check them out. Success! Got two of them while I'm here, and this place is actually only a mile from the house. I've actually ridden by it. Did a web search, and didn't even know they were here. $10 each, not bad. I got two while I'm here, just in case I don't have to come back. As soon as this bath project is over and I get my garage back and I don't have my car sitting outside, I'm going to show you how I detail it. It needs to be done. It's something that needs to be done to even brand new cars. Even though this one wasn't brand new, I can tell nothing had been done to it. There's no wax, there's no polish. It's just a factory new coat, fresh paint, which isn't that great. People might think the paint from the factory is best, but it's actually like half-ass finished. So I'll take you through that, but I need obviously a clean environment, and it's getting sprayed with dirty water and the tile dust and everything because he does his cutting and stuff out there. So it definitely needs a wash right now, but I'm going to wait because it's just going to keep getting dirty. The new humidifier is working. The only downside of this one is the size of the reservoir. You can see it's about half the size of the old one, but it works just as well. So I'll just have to refill it more often. Nice and quiet. Okay, let's get this tire changed. Now I'm working alone. If you're working alone, your bike like mine doesn't have a kickstand, you're going to need to prop the frame up, or if you've got a hook like I do, stick it up top. Now before you begin, I'm just doing the tube. If you have to do your tire as well, if it's cracked, if it's old, just worn out or whatever, there's going to be one little extra step beyond what I'm going to show you. I'll tell you about it. It's really simple. But the first thing we have to do is get what we need together, and that is tire levers. And I should have, yep, here we go. Here's one here. Probably you're only going to need one, but they come in a pack. If you don't have these, you absolutely need to go get them. They're only a couple bucks. You don't need to get any kind of specialty store or anything. You can find these at Walmart, Kmart, Target, Sears. If they sell bikes, even kids' bikes, they sell these, all right? So this is what you need. Do not try to use a screwdriver or chisel or anything like that, because you're going to end up scratching and probably denting your rim, and then you're looking at a new rim. I've got my patch kit in here. Obviously I'm not using that. So all we need is a new tube, and I've got two of them here. I got two, just so when I get the next flat I don't have to go back to the store for it. It will come with one of two of the valves, either the Presta, like I have here, the smaller design, or the Schrader, which is the older type found on the less expensive bikes and cars and sports equipment. It's a larger valve, and they're not interchangeable because they do come through the rim. So you got a hole that they have to fit through, and the Schrader, the Presta valves are smaller than the Schraders. So you have to get the right kind of tube. Other than that, you just have to get the right diameter. This is a 29 inch. So we'll open this guy up. And if you're doing a new tire, now this is how long it's been since I did one of these. The last one I did was like 25 years ago on my old mountain bike, and the tires back then were like preformed. They were basically just this, firm tire that you had to kind of work on like a car tire. And now they come in a roll just like this, and they're all floppy, and you just kind of fold them over and make the tire form. So they're a lot easier to put on now than they were. Before I did have to use 2 or 3 of these levers, but now it's all by hand. So here we got the new tube, and you can see it has the Presta valve built into it. You do have to spin off this collar, take off the protective cap, spin off this nut, because this goes on the outside of the rim. Is that longer than my original? It sure is. That's okay though, because the ones that are on there, I always had trouble getting my pump to lock on. It was so short, it basically took up the whole gap. So this is nice that the replacement's longer. It's going to be easier to put my pump on. But you just spin off this nut, because we're going to put this tube on the inside of the rim, and this nut goes on the outside to lock it in place. So don't lose that. I'm just going to set these aside here. That's all we have to do to the tube, for now at least. I am going to put some air in it just so it's not flopping around, so I can get it in there. But first we have to get the old tire off. So what I'm going to do is put it up on my hook just so I can work on it, and I need to clear some of this crap away because I want my stool. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is fully inspect the tire. Now, I showed you that big thorn I pulled out that I am fairly certain caused the problem, but I want to make sure there's nothing else in it, because it might have been coincidence. Maybe that wasn't the puncture and there's something else in here. Maybe I've got more than one. Here I've got a little thorn. Point is, you don't want anything left in the tire, and then you put in your new tube and bam, you got another flat. So far it looks pretty good. I don't see anything else. Nope, okay, just came around to the end mark here. So that was it. There was just that one thorn. Here's the tip with tires. Back the last time I was riding, they didn't have these, but now they have directional tires, just like cars. And I've got this notification. Where'd it go? It's hard to see in this light. But I've got a rotation arrow. So it tells me what direction I should be installing the tire, because the tread has a pattern to it, just like some sports cars. That wasn't around the last time I did tires. So if you are doing a tire, just make sure you put it on the right way. Just look for the arrow. Pretty simple. Alright, the first thing I need to do is loosen, well, I don't have to loosen the brake because this is a disc brake. It just literally slides out. If you have the spring or lever type brakes, usually it has a quick connect, or sometimes you just have to loosen one screw with an Allen wrench to loosen your brake calipers just to get clearance. And let's see. I think that's pretty much all I have to do. I have to loosen the quick connect. And this should be able to wiggle out. Let's see, it's going to come back and up. And the chain isn't going to go anywhere. It's on the derailleur. So, let's see. I'm just going to manually move it out of the way here so I can get the sprocket out. Be careful. You know, I should have worn gloves. Too late now. I'm all greasy. Okay. Just want to be careful of the chain. Nothing springs back at you. There we go. It's good enough to leave there. So now we got the wheel off. This is where you need your tire lever, and it's just to get this to clear over the lip of the rim. This is why you don't want to use anything metal, because we're going to be prying right over the end here. And this is very easy to bend. These are aluminum. You know, they're not that strong. And unless you're dealing with some really old ratted out tire, it's not going to be stuck on there. So you just take the little end here that has the curve, stick it up underneath, get under the tire, run it up over the lip, and just slide it a little bit. Try to catch it with the other hand. I'm at an awkward angle here because I'm trying to show you guys. You know what? Let me make sure this is in frame. Let me see. Stay. Ha! Good thing I checked. Well, there we go. That would have been a sucky video. Let's see. Let's come up here. There we go. Well, that's a little more useful, eh, guys? Shoot, I don't know if I... Yeah, I guess I showed you the other part. Okay. Drawbacks of working alone, let me tell you. Alright. So here, I know you can see it this time. Here I've got the rubber just kind of folded over the rim here. All you have to do is slide it down a little bit, work your way around. If you want to put a little dish soap on here, that can help it slide, but once you get it started, it's very, very easy. No pressure needed. You're just lifting it over the lip. And what we're doing is creating a gap here so we can pull the old tube out. Now on the old valve, we have to loosen the nut, the one I showed you that you remove off the new tube, and this allows it to be pushed in so we can take out the old tube. And all you do is, show you this way, all you do is fold the tire back, slide the valve out of the hole, pull out your tube. Now this is garbage. Now all you need to do is add a little bit of air to the new tube so it has a form, and I need to go grab my pump. Go. And I'm just going to verify that I got the right size tube here since I've never done this bike yet. I looked up the specs online, should be the correct size. Yep, okay, good. I'm not a complete idiot. with these Presta valves, I cannot say I'm a fan of these things. I still don't know what the advantage over a Schrader is. They're slow as hell to pump up. They're difficult to work. It's a two-step process for opening or closing or using the valve. It has this little tiny nut on the end that you have to loosen up just to be able to use the valve. You have to loosen that before you put it in your pump. And this pump is backwards. I'm used to the kind where this is open and this is locked and this is reversed, so it always screws me up. So that's locked on. So now I'm just going to pump it up a little bit just to give it some shape. No pressure. And the Schrader valves sure pump up faster. This is such a small diameter valve that the air can't go in very quickly. That's good enough. I'm going to let a little bit out probably. Okay, so now we've got a form. I want it a little floppier. So here with this end collar undone, you can add or remove air, and you lock it down. It doesn't do anything even if you press on it. Maybe that's the only advantage. Maybe the difference between this and a Schrader is you can always press the pin down on a Schrader valve. But I mean, so what? I don't understand the need. But anyway, I'm going to make it a little more floppy here. Just want to make sure that it's pliable, it's not bent, it's not creasing. Everything's pointing in the right direction. The valve is pointing to the inside and it looks equally round. Alright, we're good to go. So I'm going to close this just so I'm not tapping it. Then you want to find your opening. That's right here. Put a nice little sticker on the rim. Just bend your tire back a bit. Go ahead and run your valve stem through. And I'm going to loosely put on the new collar. Make sure you use the right one. It may not be the exact same size as the one you took off. This one does happen to be a little bit larger diameter. Okay, so that's just finger tight, just to keep it in place for now. And then we're just going to work it underneath the tire. Just want to get it seated in place. Don't worry about being precise right now, just get it on the rim, because it will seat itself when we put pressure into it. Just be careful not to snag on anything sharp. Shouldn't be anything sharp here, but you never know, especially if you didn't check your tires. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to give it a squeeze, make sure everything's settled evenly. Looks good. Okay. Now for the tire, we're just going to set it back in the groove. It's going to be really easy right up until the end, and then we're just going to grab our tire lever again. So we're just putting this back into the rim. I'm just gently squeezing it with my thumb. Pops right into place. Nothing fancy. Here we're getting down to the end, so it's wanting to be a little more difficult. Just fold it over as you go, and it's in. Alright, nothing magical. See, that was a big difference between the old tires that I used to do. I couldn't do that by hand. because this sidewall was just as stiff as this bottom. So there was no way you could squeeze it in like that all the way to the end. That's pretty cool. Pretty easy. All right. So I'm just checking here. I see this weird ripple in the tire. I guess it's completely normal because it's a very, very thin sidewall, obviously, since it flops around. So now I'm going to lock down this nut here firmer just by hand, no tools, don't need anything like that. Okay, now I'm going to undo the end cap again and pump it up. I'm going to put some good pressure in it this time. Not necessarily all the way to the end, but enough where it forms the tire so we can check it. Man, I'll tell you, these reverse locking ones, they're harder to do with one hand. At least with the flip down kind, you could put it on and, you know, grip it shut. Still not used to that. Alright, I like this pump because it has a gauge built in, and it has this movable dial, kind of like a diver's watch, so you can put it to where it should be. I've got it set just above where I want the pressure because it always loses a few pounds just by taking the pump off the valve. So after I take it off, it's settled to where I want it. So I'm going to put in at least half pressure here, just so I can make sure there's no bubbles, the tire's seated correctly, which it should be. It's not rocket science. Again, this is the big difference between the Schrader and the Prestas. This actually takes considerable effort just because it's such a small diameter valve to get air in there. I'm putting a lot of weight on this. The other downside is it doesn't move that much air with each pump because it's higher pressure through the valve, so it's lower volume. So it takes longer to fill up. Okay, we're up to 40 pounds. So that is good enough to check here. Just want to go around and make sure that nothing's bulging out, basically. Well, that's good. Alright, I'm going to pump it up to spec here. Go. And quickly take this off. Close the end valve. Oh, without pushing it. There we go. Put the new cap on. Good to go. Now we can put it back on the bike. See, it's not that hard. Annoying, a little expensive. It was $10 for the tube, but not that hard. So now we just have to make sure we're putting it on the right way. It's kind of obvious. Now on mine I've got the disc brake, so I just have to make sure I'm putting the disc inside the calipers. Yep, let me adjust the camera again. Almost did it again. There we go. Like I said, if you have a disc brake, you just have to make sure the disc goes back in the calipers. If you've got the spring type, you can do that after you get it in place. I need to get my chain in order first here. Again, use gloves. Big tip. Save yourself some dirt. Okay. Okay, got that roughly in place. Come on. Getting something here. Come on, get in there. Is that right? It's hard to tell looking at it upside down where it should be. I know it came out. I didn't move the derailleur, so it must fit going in. Come on. It's acting like this isn't going down far enough, but I got it off. How did I get that off? Okay, you know what? Let me stop for a second and figure this out. Whew. It's hot out today. I'm sweating. What am I missing here? It's got to go through there. Yeah. Okay, I'm not retarded. There we go. Just needed a little lift action. Bada bing. This in the frame slots. Make sure it's fully seated back where it was. Lock down the quick release. Make sure the brake's not binding. Good to go. Now, if you've got the spring type brakes, don't forget to put your cable back. That's all she wrote. Wear gloves. Definitely wear gloves. So there you go. There's your quick and dirty how to change a tube in a tire. I'm going to clean up and go for a ride. I'm not going to do a ride video today because I need some music. Whew. I wasn't kidding. It's hot out today. There's a storm brewing. I don't know if we're going to get hit or not, but the humidity is here. There's not that much of a breeze out. Oh, man. I think I lost a gallon in sweat. Anyway, that is about all that's going on today. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have some progress on the bathroom. I cannot wait to get this thing done. What a monster of a project. 2.5 weeks now. Should have been like 4 days. See you tomorrow, guys.